In this lesson, we're going to develop a Bootstrap web page layout using the Scrollspy plugin. This plugin allows us to create links that link to content on the same page. As shown in this example, when we click each link, the content scrolls up to our line of view. So the content corresponding to link 1, link 2, link 3, and link 4. To create this layout, we'll be using many of the concepts we've already covered. First, we need to create a style sheet that defines the appearance of each one of our content areas. Our page has 4 content areas. One is cyan, one is yellow, one has a pink background, and the last one has a magenta background. Each div has a padding of 45 pixels, height of 500 pixels. So you can see that we've given each style rule, each ID a name, section 1, section 2, section 3, and section 4. And they're identical. The only difference is the background color tag or definition, is different for each one. Next, in order for the Scrollspy plugin to work, we need to add the data spy attribute in our body tag and set it to scroll. Also create a data target attribute and set it to .navbar. Next, create your navbar. Create the nav element and set the class to navbar, navbar inverse, and navbar fixed top. So a lot of this should already look familiar, as we've worked with it in previous lessons in this section. Next, create the container. It's going to be a fluid container because, as you saw, it spans across the entire content area from left to right. Next, create the collapse icon so that the browser doesn't show the full navigation bar items on small handheld devices. So remember, when the web page is viewed on a large screen, we should be able to see the links in the navigation bar. But when we look at it on a very small screen, we don't want to see all the links. We want to see the collapsible menu. So when you click the button, that's when you see the links. Okay, so this is for small handheld devices. This code block should look familiar as we worked with it earlier in the section. Remember that your data target will need to match the ID of the div containing the navbar links. And once you finish creating this code block, you can go ahead and create the links. Create each item in an unordered list, okay, inside this div. So you'll see that we've given it the same ID as the data target value in our button. And in this unordered list, we have all our link items. So there's 4 of them in total. Link 1, link 2, link 3, and link 4. Each link has to have an href attribute that links to the section name. We'll now go ahead and create those sections. So after your closing nav tag, create each section in a div element and make sure the ID matches the appropriate link. So for example, link 1, we gave it the href, or we gave it the link section 1. So make sure that your ID is correctly attached to that first link. This is the first section, so section 1. Also make sure to set the div class to container fluid, so the div spans the entire viewport. And now insert your heading and content into the div. So we've put the heading into an h1 tag and the content text into paragraph tags. And that's it for each content section. Well, all you need to do is copy in this and paste this code for each one of your sections and rename the ID so it corresponds to your links. So section 2 should match section 2, section 3, and section 4. And once you've completed your sections, all you need to do is save your file and preview the file in your web browser and just make sure it works.